Hi everyone, my name is Khodi Dill and I'm the author of the picture book Welcome to the Cypher. So just a little bit about myself. As I said, my name is Khodi Dill and I am a Bahamian Canadian author, spoken word artist, rapper, and anti-racist educator working out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I wrote Welcome to the Cypher, which introduces little kids to rap music and the art of the MC, because I couldn't find any good picture books out there about rap music for my own little kids. I really wanted to share with them about my passion for this art form of rap music and even spoken word poetry. But visiting all the bookstores in my town, I just couldn't find anything. And so I went home and I said to myself, how am I going to show my own children how beautiful, how important, how compelling this art form of rap music can be? So I wrote a poem for them called Welcome to the Cypher. And just through that fun experience of creating it and sharing it with them, I decided that I would try and submit it for publication, and was lucky enough to have it picked up by Anik Press. So again, it's maybe not surprising that there weren't many books out there for little kids about rap music. And I think that might have to do with some misconceptions that exist in our broader community about rap music in general, whether we assume, that it's inappropriate for young people or whatever it might be. But this book is here to tell folks that rap is an art form. It's a medium, and like any other art form or medium, it doesn't necessarily have any moral implications attached to it until you add some content in. And so that means that the content of rap music can be super wholesome, it can be fun, it can be innocent, it can be whatever you or the young people in your lives want it to be. So hopefully Welcome to the Cypher will help to break down some of those misconceptions. I think that rap is just so much fun and can be so freeing for young people who, we know sometimes struggle to get their emotions out. I think this is a great outlet for them. And for some, rap might just represent that authentic voice that they've been searching for. This book also has incredible illustrations done by Arajua Affle. And Arajua has just done an incredible job in terms of creating illustrations that are joyful, abstract, whimsical, metaphorical, you name it. So I hope folks will enjoy it. I hope young people will be empowered by, the invitation to join the Cypher Circle. And if you've never heard of a Cypher before, I'll just speak to that briefly. A cypher is a circle of rappers who are gathered together in order to, share rhymes, share raps, sometimes that they produce right in the moment, spontaneously off the tops of their heads, and to support each other and to help lift each other up, sometimes through a little competitive energy, but always in good fun. And really, the cyphers that I've been a part of have been like a hip-hop hug. And I reference that in the book. So I just want to extend that hip-hop hug out to everybody and to all the little ones that are in your lives or that you may work with. I hope you share it with them. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Yolanda T. Marshall, and I am the author of C is for Carnival. C is for Carnival is a rhyming ABC book which educates children and adults alike about the essence and the flavor and the energy of our annual Caribbean Carnival held in Canada. Carnival in Canada, also known as Caribana, is one of the biggest North American street fests. It is my culture. It represents me. My ancestors created Carnival to celebrate freedom, emancipation. Emancipation is celebrated on the 1st of August every year in Canada, and you will see that in E for Emancipation. An excellent page to discuss racism and freedom and representation and what it means. Carnival is so diverse. It It's the music that you hear, the calypso and the soca, the shimmering colors that they wear, and the way they dance, and the expression, and the love, and the energy, and just the vibrant feeling. That is what Carnival is to us. And of course, you'll see the little picture of what we call the mocha jumbi and the jab jab. These are traditional characters within the mass. The mass is playing, you know, getting all dressed up and going in on the road and dancing. So you will get to learn about these African characters within Carnival. I really felt it was important for our kids to have such a book. We have so many Black children of Caribbean heritage in Canada, a lot of them. And it is so rare at times for them to see themselves represented. And I really do try to make sure that my books are real. It sounds like, oh, this is all fun, but these are actual events. This is what we do. This is something that all kids can participate in when they're older and when they're young in Kiddies Carnival. This is a Caribbean Canadian carnival, and that is what I would like to teach. It's not just for kids with Caribbean heritage, it's for all of us. It is a Canadian Caribbean carnival, and our Canadian kids can get excited, can learn about it, can get into the festive feeling, and be educated on this diverse culture. I also wrote my soca birthday party with jollof rice and steel pans, which also takes kids of Caribbean and African heritage and had them celebrate their friend's party. And while they're celebrating their friend and their friendships, they're sharing what's different about themselves. I really would love for my books to be spoken in terms of getting everyone together, doesn't matter your background, and having kids talk about, hey, what do you eat at home? What do you like? What kind of celebrations do you have? And everyone can learn about it, right? Knowledge is power. Now, I love this book because I feel that it is a classic. It's one that can stay with us for so long, and kids can learn all the terms, the history. We have a glossary at the back as well, so educators can read on that. And you see this? They're just having such a good time. You have bacchanal. You will hear the term used a lot by the reporters when they're reporting Caravana, and they'll teach you what that means. The flag waving. We're very proud people. We love to wave our flags. Doesn't matter where you're from, just wave it. Of course, emancipation, which touches on racism and freedom. And of course, fête, which means party. I really try to highlight the terms and what kids are doing, or, you know, would do if they play in a mass. You know, it's going to be hot outside because it's summertime. So cool down with some water, you know, and steel pans. And here are the African characters that you find we parade in our carnival. And K is for kitties. For Kiddies Carnival, you have L is for love. And for noise, O for outside. How relevant is that? We're kings and queen of Carnival because we do have carnival competitions. Steel pans, soca. Of course, you have soca. You have calypso and roti. Food is a major part of Carnival, and I do have a roti recipe in the book, which is so awesome. So parents and can cook with their children, or just learn how to make this traditional Caribbean dish. Let me get to that. I really want you to see this roti. I'm a huge fan of roti. I love food. You will find food in all my books. Here, look at that. We know roti, especially in Toronto. It's like almost every shop, Caribbean store have it. And they'll have the ingredients, which was made, this was actually made by an educator in Canada. And yes, it's all about culture, all about celebration. And this is a Canadian Caribbean carnival. It attracts about 1 million or more people every single year. And I really do hope educators can, you know, enjoy this book as much as the children. And yeah, Carnival is life. Thank you. Hello, everyone.
My name is Nhung Tran-Davies, and I am an author, physician, and mother of three. It is such an honor to be a part of this Fold Kids Book Festival. I'm here today to present to you my picture book, The Doll. It's published by Second Story Press and illustrated by the amazing Ravi Poth. The Doll is a book that is very dear to my heart because it is 40 years in the making, in that it's inspired by a doll that I was given as a child when I and my family first came to Canada as refugees from the Vietnam War. Having come from war and poverty and having lost everything, when a young girl came up and gifted me this doll, the doll lit up my heart because it came to represent all the kindness, generosity, and compassion of Canadians. And knowing today that all that I have and all that I've become is because of this simple act of kindness in a moment in time. I continue to live today to pay forward the kindness. And so 40 years later, it was my turn to be standing at the gates of the Edmonton International Airport to present a little doll to a little Syrian refugee girl. The doll, I think, is an important book because it's relevant to the many issues we're facing today with the ongoing war and conflicts around the world. The conversations that I feel can be started with this book is on first the topic of immigration. Canada, aside from our Indigenous community, is a nation built by immigrants, and so it is important for kids to appreciate the diverse background, language, culture, and religion we all have, and to realize that together we are more beautiful. The second conversation is on the plight of refugees. The search for hope and freedom is a universal theme, and Ravi's illustration, her powerful moving images, does depict the difficult and dangerous journey that refugees take. And so children will learn to understand that refugees are not refugees by choice. They are forced from their homes. And so none of us should turn our backs on refugees. And the third conversation this book will inspire is the discussion about kindness, because you can see that through this story, an act of kindness in a moment of time will ripple forth beyond our doors and across the world and through the generations. So kindness is a very powerful force that is a very practical solution to many of life's ailments. So I think the doll is important in this way. I also think, it's a wonderful book to reflect upon. And actually, it's the doll itself is now sitting with the Canadian Museum of Immigration, and is doing a cross Canada tour for the next few years, to speak of the plight of refugees. And so I think this book is important to have, important to read for children and for the children to read, so that there are conversations for better understanding of one another. Thank you.